Tales from the Bilberry Moon Cafe. I went to my usual restaurant. I sat at my usual place. I beckoned my usual waiter with the friendly, familiar face, and calmly surveying the menu said, "A scallop of pork, if you please." And my waiter said, "Would you like carrots with that, or maybe a portion of peas?" Now, he knows for a fact I take carrots, since I once heard my auntie remark, "They'll put dozens and dozens of hairs on your chest and they'll help you to see in the dark." But a change is as good as a rest, you'll agree, so along with my cauliflower cheese, I bridled my preference for carrots that day, and I plumped for the portion of peas. My dinner arrived in an instant. My escallop, my cauliflower cheese, my potatoes englutted with gravy, and, as promised, my portion of peas. Such a pastoral, emerald greenness. So pretty they looked with my pork. With a twinge of excitement, I gave them a sharp introductory jab with my fork. To my great disbelief and amazement, not to mention a certain surprise, I didn't see one on the end of my prong. They'd escaped, right in front of my eyes. So I prodded and skewered and poked and shovelled and trowelled and scraped, but the little green blighters kept rolling away to more difficult parts of my plate. They clearly presented a challenge. I rolled up my sleeves in a flash, and I stabbed at a big juicy green one that flew and embedded itself in my mash. I sought after one that had strayed from the fold of this perilous portion of rogues, but I caught it acutely. It fell from my plate and spattered all over my brogues. With prickling sweat on my forehead, yet somehow maintaining my calm, I drove at another, which shot up my sleeve and tickled me under the arm. Now, stabbing was proving quite futile, so was crushing the remedy, maybe. But the few that I managed to catch, trap, and crush all sank without trace in my gravy. So I viciously shovelled them onto my fork, but no sooner than off they rolled. This chase had gone on so the rest of my meal had given up hope and gone cold, whilst now I thrust hard at this cluster of peas, and slashing away with my knife, I screamed out the war cries I learned as a child, as a customer fled for his life. I snarled at my plate in a frenzy, and broke it in two with my fist, not caring a fig for the cauliflower cheese and the mash that was caked on my wrist, for now, in such rage, I'd forgotten myself, and my nerves were much more than on edge. I'd taken as much as I felt I could stand from this perilous portion of veg. How I swore, like a fellow demented, at these spherical bundles of fun, which would only submit to one's knife or one's fork if one happened to carry a gun. I sank to the carpet a gibbering wreck, and pleaded with sobs on my knees for the waiter who served me to carry away this troublesome portion of peas. The waiter attended my table with his sickening, elegant flair, whilst maids scurried round him as busy as bees, removing the mess that was there. He picked me up from the carpet, and helping me back to my seat, presented the menu so calmly and said, "Would sir like to order his suite?"